David Mckillips, CEO of CEC Entertainment, parent company of Chuck E. Cheese. Thank you for talking to me today.
Oh, wonderful. How are you? Happy Halloween.
Thank you. Is it Halloween?
Well, we had a big announcement today, so
yes.
we just announced our Halloween event. So we're very excited today. I'm drinking out of my Halloween mug.
That's fantastic. I want to ask you about that in a bit, but I want to start with you talking me through your background and career and the route that brought you to where you are now, and we'll take it from there.
So I'm happy to give you a little background. So I have been in the attraction industry or attraction entertainment industry for 25 years.
Yeah.
I have spent time at SeaWorld in Orlando, Sesame Place, which is a theme park based on the Sesame Street characters in Langhorne. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Yes.
From there, I went and I spent 10 years at DC Comics, which is a division of Warner Brothers that represents all of the world's greatest superheroes. So that's Superman and Batman, and of course, Wonder Woman.
Of course.
And in the last 13 years, I have been with Six Flags, and I have been in many different disciplines, from everything from sponsorship to corporate partnerships, food and beverage, retail, international, maintenance, design, construction. So really the full gamut. It was an incredible run and a great opportunity. I loved being there, but it brought me here. So this is a great opportunity. I joined the company in January, and it really is it is the perfect job of everything I have ever done throughout my career right here in one building.
That's a huge build-up, isn't it? So tell me you're CEO of the parent company of Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes, the parent company, I'm going to turn the volume up here. Okay, the parent company is CEC Entertainment.
Yeah.
And we operate more than 700 restaurants throughout the world, 2 brands, Peter Piper Pizza, and of course, Chuck E. Cheese, which is our flagship brand.
Of course it is. Tell me a bit more about Chuck E. Cheese and its place in the sort of firmament of family entertainment.
So in the United States, Chuck E. Cheese is an absolute staple. It has been operating for 43 years. We are the largest family entertainment center in the world. We have 2 billion game plays every single year. We see more than 50 million people each year as well.
That's incredible.
It is. It's unbelievable. So we have over 500 corporately owned stores, and then we also have 78 locations outside the United States with our international markets, and we've got a lot of stores in the Middle East. So we're in Saudi Arabia and UAE. We'll have some more announcements to share with you a little bit later this year as well. And then we have multiple locations in South America. So we are in Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, all over. And we can follow up and send you the specifics as well.
That would be great. Tell me, what is it about the formula that makes it so magical, that makes it so compelling to children and families?
Well, so we offer four entertainment options for our guests that come. Mm-hmm. And we're obviously known for our arcades. And each location has anywhere between 90 and 100 games, and then we've got a great menu of really terrific food. Our pizza, we're well known for our pizza, of course. Yeah. But we've got a great menu items, and then we've got entertainment value for the whole family that is really directed towards kids. And Chuck E. Cheese is the star of the show. In pre-COVID times, he comes out every single hour. And I'll tell you what we're doing today now we're in the pandemic. But Chuck E. Cheese is the rock star. He's unbelievable. And that's the differentiating point, is the brand awareness for Chuck E. Cheese. So the 4 elements of entertainment that we have, of course, is our dining, our arcade, our dance show, and our entertainment show at Chuck E. Cheese, and then lastly, our gift shop. And our gift shop has a lot of exclusive items that are branded for Chuck E. Cheese and all the characters that he's got his content with.
Okay, so COVID came along, the pandemic came along, and you had to pivot to a less hands-on model. That must have been a huge challenge.
It was incredibly difficult. There is no doubt this has been the most challenging time ever in the 4 decades of CEC entertainment.
Yeah.
So we closed down all of our FECs in March, mid-March, closed them down worldwide.
Right.
And we had to move and pivot the business to off-premise.
Yeah.
And most pizza companies are, their expertise is carry out and delivery, and that's just not part of our business model. It never was, because we host people and entertain them as part of our offering. So we had to completely pivot the organization, which we did, and we signed deals with all of the third-party delivery companies, offered a special carry-out value meal, and reopened all of our locations just for carry-out and delivery.
Wow. Yeah. That must have been a huge pivot in a very short amount of time.
It was, Lala. And one of the things that we did during that time is, because Chuck E. Cheese, it's pizza, its brand is really for families with young kids, right? So our pizza is not in the consideration set for your traditional pizza consumer.
No. So
we launched a new brand called Pasquale's.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you probably saw that. So it's Pasquale's Pizza and Wings.
Yeah.
And, we position it as bold flavors with a grown-up taste. And this is a virtual kitchen brand. So it's a different pizza with a new recipe. It's got more sauce, different blends of cheese, Italian seasonings, and now 7 different wing flavors.
Yeah.
So this allowed us to attract your traditional pizza and wing consumer with a new brand. And that was new for our company as well.
That was brilliant. And ETicketing, I think you moved to that as well.
Yeah, so ETicketing is part of our overall mobile strategy, and it just fit very well during the COVID closures. And let me take you through a couple of the things that we did from a safety perspective, and this will parlay perfectly into e-tickets, right?
Yeah, sure.
So we reopened some of our restaurants in mid-June.
Yeah. We
have approximately 315 locations open for full dining and gameplay right now.
Yeah.
So that's about 60% of our locations that are open. 40% of those are closed, right? So it's still very, very difficult for the company. But we have limited capacity. We're taking temperatures at the door. We're asking every single guest to wear masks. We're upgrading our air filters in all of our open locations to what they call a MERV 13, which is like a hospital grade air filter. So it traps, the micro biological particles. We suspended our character program, and that's really hard, right? Because Chuck E. Cheese is the heart and soul of our entertainment offering. So we suspended that. And then in the meantime, we also looked at how can we bring the brand to our fans.
Yeah.
So we launched the Afternoon Fun Break. And this was something that you could find on our social channels or YouTube Kids, where we have Chuck E. Cheese and friends entertaining our guests at home and online. Brilliant. So this is a great way to keep touch with our guests.
Yeah.
And then we also launched the chuckecheeseshop.com as well. So this is the first time that we had a retail offering online. So all of that was complemented to parties, carry-out, and delivery that we could send to home, right? So we wanted to make sure you could have the full Chuck E. Cheese experience if it was delivered, if it was online content, or as we reopen safely all of our dining rooms, the guests could come and visit us as well. Now, as we did all that, we looked for other ways that we could bring a touchless or contactless experience to our venues. We launched online ordering via mobile. And then the second thing we did is we phased out our paper ticket program and we moved to e-tickets.
Right, yeah.
This was a huge announcement for the company. This is something that was part of our strategic plan moving forward, but we thought that we would expedite that and make sure that we would launch that as we were reopening locations. So now all of our locations in the United States and Canada some of our international markets right now are moving to the ETicket platform. Very important for our guests. It's safer, it's cleaner, it's greener. It's being well received by our guests. They're thanking us for making that move. And this was part of our future program, and it just got expedited because of the COVID pandemic.
I think that's really common, is that sort of innovation is happening and trends are accelerating. Trends like that are accelerating because out of necessity at the moment. Okay, tell me about how you've been using gaming to keep people engaged over the lockdown.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 2 games that are on the App Store right now.
Yeah.
One of which is our Chuck E. Cheese's Skate Universe. And this is a real fun, it's a fun and entertaining game for our kids. We have millions of gameplays on it. And this is something that between visits of Chuck E. Cheese, it allows us a great brand connection to our guests.
Yeah.
And in addition to having interactive games on the App Store, we have also, as part of our afternoon fun break, have had live games with Chuck E. Cheese and downloadable activity sheets and games that you can play at home as well.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. What about gaming? Does it have a role in drawing people back as the lockdown eases and as people?
Oh, it sure does. It's part of that whole entertainment experience. As I mentioned before, we have anywhere between 90 and 100 games, many of which are customized to the Chuck E. Cheese experience. And, our demographic is very young, so it's anywhere between 3 and 8 years old. So we have participatory games, and then we also have your traditional games as well for a little bit older of an audience, everything from skee ball, which we call alley rollers at Chuck E. Cheese. I should use the right name.
Right.
And then, everything for Space Invaders, and then we have sports games.
Yeah.
And what we really try to encourage is the co-participation play between parents and kids. And that brings that special moment, that great bond between parents and kids when they come and they celebrate, their special moment at Chuck E. Cheese. We're actually home to we are the #1 birthday destination in the world. Really? So, we host over 1 million birthday parties every single year. And that's, something that we're not able to do right now. So we're trying to bring birthday parties home. But as you look at gaming, we always try to bring games into our universe that can be played with multiples. So 2-player game, 4-player game with parents and kids together.
Okay, I'm really interested in hearing about your plans for the short and the long term, but most particularly, of course, about Halloween. So tell me about Halloween.
Okay, so it's tough for me just to sit because I get so excited about Halloween. Brian's laughing back here.
Feel free
to
answer.
Did we share the press release with Lala? Okay, so you got a little peek under the tent before anybody else. Okay, so we're on the wire today, So let me get to short and long term, but one of our long-term strategic goals was to launch major special events.
Yeah.
Okay. Our first fully immersive special event that we are launching is Chuck E. Cheese's Halloween Bootacular. Okay. This year, we had to be a little different because what was the original strategy is to be a fully immersive destination for 3 to 8-year-olds, the #1 Halloween destination in the world, quite frankly. Right. We had to think differently. And we had to make sure that Halloween is being delivered safely and can be enjoyed in venue for, the 300 plus stores that we have open. Plus, we had to make sure that experience could be brought home and enjoyed online. Right. So it was a real challenge this year, but let me lay out a couple things you probably read. But as you walk into our venues, they'll be fully decorated, right? And not so scary, of course, because you're talking about young kids, but they'll be fully decorated. We redid and reimagined our entire menu. Did we send the menu to Lala? We'll send you a visual of the menu. It's gorgeous. But we've got all kinds of fun foods. Chuck E. Cheese is all about where a kid can be a kid, right? And our mission is to deliver fun in every single experience. So we have Bootacular throughout all of our menu items. We have a new pumpkin-shaped pepperoni pizza that is just so cute. We have a Bootacular brownie. We have an ice cream dessert, okay? And we're bringing in custom masks for Halloween with Chuck E. Cheese, really cute with little vampire teeth. And, so that's just a start. Kids are going to come in. They love Halloween so much. You can wear your costume. You're going to get a treat bag. But here's where it gets really fun. We do have brand new entertainment. And our show and entertainment is a big part of our experience, right? Especially during Halloween. Yes. We have dance floors, and kids love to enjoy themselves and participate with Chucky. We had to create content that was going to be relevant and safe for kids if they're in the venue, at home, or wherever they are online. They can enjoy.
Fantastic.
We produced and executed all the content with all the safety measures in mind. So 6-foot distance when you're dancing, right? Wearing your mask and following online when we have all of our entertainment content. So it's really cute. It was a challenge. I applaud our entertainment and marketing teams that have worked so hard to create experiences that could be enjoyed in person or at home.
That's brilliant. Do you think that when the pandemic is completely a thing in the past, that you'll continue to move on into the digital space to keep engaging people online?
There's no question that digital needs to be a complementary brand extension to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
In fact, let me take you through our long-term goals, and then I'll go back to short-term, because your question really parlays very nicely. So our long-term goals are really to grow the Chuck E. Cheese brand, right? We're the #1 family entertainment brand in the world. We want to expand internationally. I don't want to have a United States brand that has an international division. I really want Chuck E. Cheese to be a global family entertainment brand. And that's what's so exciting, because we're having those discussions now, even in the pandemic. So then when the pandemic is over, we'll be well positioned to expand all over the world. So I'm excited about that. That's one of our long-term goals. I talked about our big strategic special events. We're going to have more news for you as we get to holiday. And so maybe we can have another call. We'll tell you all about that. We have a very successful remodel program in the United States, and we're going to continue to look at reinvesting in our locations to modernize them, to bring in digital technology. And then the last thing that I'm super excited about is, of course, we're known, Chuck E. Cheese is known for our family entertainment centers, right? All of our destinations, but we are now launching an entertainment division. So we're going to look at how do we license and create original content for animation, for features, for consumer products, and other toys, games, and other areas of entertainment. I'm really, really excited about that. So if you think about how we can grow this brand, there's no ceiling.
That's so exciting.
It is incredibly exciting. We don't sleep. We're so excited all the time. Ask Brian. So,
surprised.
But short term, Lala, here's our priorities from a short term. #1, we've got to reopen our locations safely.
Yeah.
Okay. We have very limited capacity. We're being patient as much as we possibly can, but we've got to deliver the safety protocols and guidelines according to the CDC. So that is our absolute priority. That's #1. Also, we got to make sure that our brand remains relevant, and that's why we're launching content online. That's why we're delivering parties at home, and then and looking at launching new consumer products on our Chuck E. Cheese shop and new retail items as well. So staying connected to our guests, being a part of our communities, and keeping our goodwill and our name going until we're able to open up all of our locations.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to see what you do over the next few years.
Well, thank you very much.